starter, the flag's up. They're off. So away they go then for this opening race, the Coward Racing and Scoots Potatoes Conditions race, heading towards the first of a scheduled 18 fences. They have 2 open ditches to take on their way round, and Snowcastle is the first to cross the opening fence in the hands of Joe Wright. He leads Fivecardstud by about a length and a half as they quickly make the run towards the second. All 3 of them jumping it safely enough, although at the back of the field, Packet to the Rafters just dived a little bit at the second fence. So now they're swinging left-handed at a very sedate gallop, and the 3 of them separated by 4 or 5 lengths as they turn left-handed and begin to run towards fences 3, 4, 5 and 6 in this line. Fence number 4 will be the first of their 2 open ditches. So heading up towards fence number 3, Snowcastle, and Joe Wright leads the way. Snowcastle in the green and grey colours leads the way by a good 2.5, maybe even 3 lengths now from Fivecardstud in the orange and green, and then Packet to the Rafters and Kelly Bostock last of the trio heading towards fence number 4. And this is the first of the 2 open ditches that will be taken on the way round, and again all 3 of them jump it safely enough and now begin to make the run quickly on towards fence number 5. Snowcastle, Fivecardstud, and at the back of the field again, just a little bit chancy there was Kelly Bostock's mount Packet to the Rafters, heading on towards fence number 6, and then their long swing left-handed up the hill into the back straight, and again Packet to the Rafters dived at fence 6 as the 3 of them begin to make their way left-handed into the far side now, jumping for a good furlong and a half or so now, and Snowcastle leading the way in the hands of Joe Wright from Fivecardstud, and then at the back of the field was Packet to the Rafters. So heading off into the far side of the course in this, the Coward Racing and Scoots Potatoes Conditions race, first of what will now be 6 races here at Easingwold this afternoon, and the 3 of them never separated by more than 4 or 5 lengths as they're up and over fence number 7 safely enough, and now they're quite tightly bunched. There'll be only 2 lengths top to tail in this opening race, and Snowcastle and Joe Wright leading the way, still by about a length and a half maybe now, as they run towards fence number 8. Snowcastle was very good at fence 8, much better again than Packet to the Rafters, who hasn't convinced in his first 8 fences of this race, and now they're at their point of departure and beginning to turn left-handed and gradually make their way back down the hill, and Snowcastle still leads the way from Fivecardstud and Packet to the Rafters, last of the 3. The order unchanged on their first circuit, and now beginning to make the run towards fences 9 and 10 on this section of the track. Again, Snowcastle was very efficient over his fence. Fivecardstud, the orange and green colours, horse with the white face to the inside, and then a Packet to the Rafters, who was much better at fence number 10, and now they're beginning to make their way left-handed once again, and their pace hasn't really increased as yet in this Coward Racing and Scoots Potatoes Conditions race. And Snowcastle and Joe Wright, who's effective over much further. Snowcastle, he stays further than this 3 miles. He's in front, looking to just maybe press on a little bit now as they head towards fence number 11. Snowcastle opening up by 2 lengths from Fivecardstud, and then a Packet to the Rafters, and Kelly Bostock still at the back of the 3-runner field. Heading on towards fence number 12, final one of the open ditches, and Snowcastle and John Dawson and Joe Wright lead again by 3 or 4, and eventually at the back of the field going is a Packet to the Rafters. The Packet to the Rafters is a faller at the final open ditch. The other 2 are galloping away, still led by Snowcastle and a couple of lengths to a Fivecardstud. Packet to the Rafters is galloping away, rideless, seemingly none the worse as the 2 of them that remain head up and over fence number 14 safely enough, and now begin to make the long sweeping left-handed turn up the hill into the back straight. Just looking back towards fence number 12, Kelly Bostock is on her knees, seemingly winded at the landing side of fence number 12. So the pair of them will be making their way into the back straight and heading towards the fence that will be taken as 4 from home, fence number 15. And Snow Castle is opening up by 3 lengths from Fivecardstud. Snow Castle, Fivecardstud, the pair of them making the run down the far side of the course, 3 lengths between the pair, heading towards 3 out. Snow Castle, Joe Wright has made every yard of it to this point, again very efficient over 3 out. Now just been asked to quicken up as they run towards their final 3 furlongs, and Snow Castle still on by 4 lengths from Fivecardstud, swinging left-handed down the hill, coming inside their final quarter mile. They've got 2 to jump from this point, and Snow Castle and Joe Wright just getting a little bit lower in the saddle, coming towards fence number 17. He's over it safely, but Fivecardstud is beginning to close on Snow Castle, running on down towards the last. The pair of them only 2 lengths separating them. Snow Castle is not doing particularly very much in front here for Joe Wright. He's having to issue a reminder or 2 on the run for home. They've got about 100 yards left to cover, and it is Snow Castle who is in front by 3 or 4 lengths, pulling away towards the finish on up the hill, and Snow Castle will go on and beat Fivecardstud. The favourite lands the opener here at Easingwold. Snow Castle beats Fivecardstud.